be careful if you don't get the proper rest and the proper nourishment and the proper sleep. You might fall into sin. So be careful with what you do and what you say. And I, you got all the information. What do you need me for? Just go on ahead. Go on ahead. You know, sin sucks. I'm tired of all the bullcrap. I'm tired of all the fears. I'm tired of all the doubts. I'm tired of it all. And the only way for us to be full of grace is to follow the Lord Almighty. And nothing's going to change it. Just what it is. It's what it is. So, there it is. You got all the information. Go ahead. Go on. Give your life to him. Go on. I don't know what you're looking at me for. Go ahead and give your life to him. Go on. Uh, you know, tired of it. I can't do nothing. That's what they told me. You said you can do nothing. They said if you're a Christian, it's about this and that, rules and follows and do this and do that. No, no, no. It's about loving the Lord. It's about loving the Lord. And that's where I have lived. I've camped. That's where I camp out at now. Because all this crap talking about oh all this crap is just crap. It's the only way I could put it. I was walking around like an old robot. Beep boop bop beep. And it just screw that. You think robots could dance like this? No, they can't dance like that. They go short circuit or something. And so that's why I figured it out. I figured it out. He just loves us. And once I trusted in his death and resurrection, and I said, okay, he died and then arose. And then in the same time with him, I died to my old self and then rise from the dead with him. Now I live in harmony with God. And it's not like a robot. I don't need anybody. I don't need to be fulfilled by anybody. And he's like a big old pitcher of water. And it's just like after you played a long day of basketball and the sun's been beating down on you and you're thirsty. And he'll just pour into you. I can't tell you. There's no words that can express the feeling of being in love with God. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Go on ahead now. You got all the information. Hold up. It's like all that water time got thirsty. Oh. Mm. You know, You know, I used to beat myself up day and night. I could never be good enough. Screw that. In the name of Jesus. You know, I can't tell you. I was always, a lot of people who know me, knew that I was always mad, always something. I was bad news. They called me bad news. I remember we lived in the nice place, in the nice neighborhood, and I went to high school. And I remember there was one place, one guy. He, he had the nice house, and he didn't want me there because they said I was bad news, and I was bad news at the time. I was like, "You're the bad news," but that's just what it was. And so basically now it's just the good news. It's only about good news, and all he filled me up with the good news that I'm not gonna die anymore. And so now all I got to bring is good news. So you can see that it's a total transformation. It's really amazing. I used to be a big jerk, um, afraid. I would always, I would always just be trying to get for me and me and me, and it sucked, to be honest with you. It was just terrible. And then what happened after that? I mean, well, basically, still back in the day, I was lonely and I was hurting, and um, all of it just added up to a lot of grief and loss. I just Nobody wanted to be around me, and well, I mean, and I was selfish, and I would want them, basically. I would want them, but then if they needed me, I was nowhere to be found. Um, and so just basically, I was like a fungus on the earth. I was just stuck to my own little place, my own little, and it was sickening, to be honest with you. Yes, it was. Just growing like a fungus, infecting everybody who was around me. Whew, it's not good. And then God loved me, and so what He did was said, and He made me a new man. Went from fungus to a tree. And I mean, so basically, now if I have to put it in words, it's like I'm growing from Him. So like you got the tree and you got the branches. Well, look, that looks like the cross. So you got the tree and the branches are growing. And that's me. I'm the branches. And so basically, if I stay connected to the tree, you know, then I'm gonna keep growing. And you know what He does? We bear fruit. And so when you bear fruit, it's beautiful, but it comes from God. And so what God does is He'll prune. He prunes. When you see people pruning the tree, they want it to be shaped right and to grow full. And so the fruits come down from the tree. And so we become more fruitful when He prunes us. It's so amazing. No one. It's like you know, and it's not about, what you do, what you say, or, it's all about who you are. And so if you know that who you are is one with God and you're in love with Him, then you don't have to worry about what's going to happen to me. You don't have to worry about your future. You can make plans and you work those out with God, but you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about what people think about you. You don't have to worry about being going to hell anymore. You don't have to worry about what happens after you die. You don't have to worry about any of the crap that we would worry about. How you look. You don't have to worry about, oh, am I doing this right or am I doing that right, or what do they think about me? And um, just living in that constant state of fear. Screw that in the name of Jesus. And I can't tell you. You get catapulted from that life when you land right here with Jesus, and it's just like, oh, so this is the purpose of my life. I'm supposed to jump up and down and have fun with God and be free. So that was the purpose of life. Okay, that's what I want. That's what I have found is the truth about God. And you never have to be tied down to what you think you are or what you think. You're not tied down. You just are. You just am. That's why God said, I am who I am. It's just, there's no name to describe it. There's no box you can put it in. Basically, what I'm trying to say. You just are, and we're supposed to be connected to the life source, and it's so beautiful, And then He uses us for in a great way. It's not like He uses us like we're just crap, and He's like, oh, I'm just gonna use you. No, He uses us as part of His body. Think about that. So if God is the head, like this, we are the body. We and so we are one with God, and we are moving, and it's beautiful because we're able to give life and love and just help and create and grow. It's so beautiful. And you think about it, that's one thing that I also think about is that I always want, when I would hug people, I could never feel like I could get close enough because it just, before I was with Jesus, I would hug them, and it just like I would be looking for something to fill me up, and nothing could do it. Just smoking, whatever I was trying to do. So I was like, ah, and like the Cookie Monster, and nothing could fill me up. I swear. And then, oh my God. And then once He filled me up, now I'm filled up. Now I can just give. And when I go, I'm connected to the life source. It's, I can't just, I'm doing the best I can is to describe it. Um, but it's just something that you just have to experience for yourself. And It's so amazing. Like we can just jump up and down and be free and run around like we were kids. Um, but not be a slave to anything. Not a slave to sin. I'm not a slave, I'm not a slave to any of this crap. I'm not a slave to the good things that God gave me either, you know? He gave me the things, and now since I'm in love with him, he's my one, my love, you know? Now I understand more about what's right and wrong, what's good and, good to do. And so then I just and then I know, okay, this is good for me. I'm free, and so I do the good things. And when I'm still learning about that, and so I'm learning. Basically, what I'm learning is you know, how to live in balance, and learning a lot, like about how to plan and prepare things without, making them my main motive, and that all I think basically where my understanding about all that comes from is being connected to the life source, just staying inside of his love and always being. It's so beautiful. The world is such a liar. It's gonna tell you, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, and then you'll become something. No, no. This is how God planned it out. He said, be in love with me and then be free. And then you'll think about it. He's dad. He created us. He knows what he created us for. Well, first off, he created us to be in love with him, connected. So then we're connected to him, you know. We need that first. And then we know, because that's our identity. That's the core, that's the root of who we are, is one with God. So beautiful. And then we understand how to give ourselves, or how, basically now we understand what we understand what we do. Say, oh, I'm good at this. He said I'm good at that. And it's beautiful because he uses us as one with him to help people out with what we're good at. And we're good at so many things. There are so many things that I did not know I was good at until he showed me. Until I figured out who I was inside of him. And now it's just a life full of freedom. And, no more worries. Zero more worries. Because it's like, okay, yeah. It's because you know why there's no more worries? It's because I'm not living for things on this world. I've already been completely fulfilled. That's what we need. We need to be completely fulfilled. And then once you get completely fulfilled, then you just be so free to do whatever whatever you're good at. Don't worry about, that's what's trying to get you, is you need to do the thing. If you love basketball, you need to, or whatever it is, apply it to your life. You're doing the thing to get your worth. And that's what I did for my whole life. It led me to terrible. And so once you understand that you were created to be in love with Jesus Christ, and he took the pain for you, because all the pain and the death that happened because we were away from God. Life and death, they're opposite. The absence of life is death. So when we decided to walk away from God, death was here, he decided, I'm going to come down here, take the bullet for him, so then we could rise together as a family. The most beautiful thing, and you think about it, it's magnificent. And he did that so we could live in harmony with him. So then whatever it is that you're doing, as you are doing it to receive the love, you keep doing it to receive the love. And guess what it does every time? Just keep smacking you over in the face. And guess what? That's how it's always going to be. You move from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. That's what I did my whole life. We did that, and like walking down the street and getting hit by a 2x4, getting up and then walking over here, another 2x4, walking over here, another 2x4, and basically they could build a house with all those 2x4s that hit us right in the face, but God is the healer, and he'll heal that 2x4 stain right off your head, and so then you never beat yourself up anymore, because you've experienced the beating of the world. And then once you get in love, whatever's trying to beat you up is just, it's dookie. We don't listen to it. We laugh at it now. God says that he'll make your enemies a footstool for you. He's not talking about enemies really as humans. He's talking about those enemies that the fears, the doubts, the pain, all these things. Look at these things. All these things that used to harass me. Now look at, I'm just jumping right off of them. Like, I imagine it like a bunch of devil's faces, and I'm just running on top of their faces, boom, 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 and then jumping up and high-fiving Jesus and with my friends, and we're just strong, and we just love, and it's who we are. And so much power, and God tells us that he gives us that authority. We have authority over all these devils and demons, the fears, the doubts, the lusts, all the greed, all the selfishness. And he tells us we have authority over every single one. And so now, we don't, and then even more than that, he says, don't rejoice. He says, now we don't have to rejoice, because we have the authority, but we rejoice, excuse me, but we rejoice, because our names are written in heaven. So when we know what our name is written in heaven, that is something to rejoice about. So we are living, still on earth, we're living like citizens of heaven, like kings and queens of heaven, brothers and sisters. So much more powerful than the hate, than the violence, than the sexual, the wrong type of sex, so much more powerful than trying to get for yourself and always talking about yourself, always thinking about yourself. This has been a totally new one. He took us from that and then set us right here in this place where we can be unified and in love. And that's why now he changed my whole heart's desires. Now, I'm literally in love with God. And I love myself as someone who's united with God. Someone who's united with God and united with the family of God. We're in love. And I love everybody who's listening, even if you haven't accepted Jesus as your Savior yet. I love you so much, and my heart's desire is for you to become a family member with us. So then we could be free and we could run around in heaven forever. And that's between you and God. That's something that is gonna it's gonna be it's your choice. He loves you so much that he says, I'm not gonna force it on you. Basically what he's gonna do is he says, I died for you. Spilled out my blood so we can have a new chance to be in relationship with him. And at one point in my life, I was walking and I was so broken and lonely and lost and addicted and oh my God. And it was just consumed me. All of that consumed me. And I was walking. I was basically on my kneeling, crawling at that point. I was still crawling. I was crawling on the ground and still taking hits and still grabbing things and using these things to fill me up. These things. It was always about me. I was so just laying on the ground at that point. And that's when I looked up to God. I said, I need you. And then he came for me. So that's all I know that happened. I know that, and since I know him now, we're in love, and I know that he'll do the same for you too. I know that, if you cry out to him and you realize, that, that you just need help, you need freedom from it all, he will fill you up. And he will love you so much and just make you so happy and free inside of his love, and you'll never be lonely again. And you'll just be so happy. And just you'll know that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be more than okay. You have a friend, a faithful friend, actually the most powerful friend that fights for you and fought for you and bled for you and rose for you, so then we could rise with him and we'll be together as a family. And it's just the love. It's just so much love. And so I just wanted to share that, with you and encourage you. And I don't want any more pain for anybody, because I've experienced so much pain in my life. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it for your life too. And you guys are amazing. You were built inside of his image. You were made. We look so amazing. I mean, we're like inside and out. It's like who we are. It's just like awesome. And he made us to be like that. And so there's so much love. We're not enemies. Nobody is my enemy. Not human is my enemy. That's why it's so much more fun this way, because then we, like I said, we can jump on every devil's face and high five each other. So I mean, he really built that into me, because I used to be mad. I used to be at everybody. I used to be everything was a competition. Everything was about that old man. Everything was about me. And that man died. He's gone now. And the new man that lives now, through the blood of Jesus Christ and his resurrection, the new man that lives now is a friend, And like truly, it's not like me just trying to be good, trying to be a good friend to you. No, he actually made me somebody who loves you. I remember I couldn't do it before. I was like, oh yeah, try to be nice. Yes, sir. Yeah, have a seat. Oh, after you, miss. And like, it was so fake. It was ridiculous. And the beautiful thing, and he wants to love you. He wants to make you a new person. And he wants. That's what he did for me. He made me a new person. And that's why I'm so thankful that, when nobody's looking, I'm not like, oh, go to my secret life. My secret life is a life with Jesus. And like, I'm free 100% of the time when you guys are around and when nobody's around. And that's the beautiful thing. And so basically what I did was trust in his death and resurrection. And I basically trusted him. I died with him. I literally, it was like 13 weeks ago. And I basically what I did was the pornography. It was. And all those lusts and the anger and the pride and everything, and all the things that consumed me and my fears and doubts, I died with him. I fought. Here's what I did. I was here in my house, and what I did is it was like, no more. I said, I've been united with God because I believed in him. 5 years ago, I believed in him. And then so I believe God. I'm unified with God because what the fears and the doubts and all the other crap is trying to do is it's trying to make ourselves one with it. It's trying to make ourselves unified with fear or unified with pornography or unified, with lust and greed and selfishness and everything. So it's trying to make us one with it. And we were one with it for so long. So basically what I needed God to do, God made me one with him when he washed all those craps away. and, and then we became unified with him. So that's what he did. So then when I was here, I said, that's what I want. I want to be unified with you. I am unified with you. And that's what I choose because you choose it for me. So he gave the offer and I said, yes, I want to be one with you. This is who I am. And then I said, this is who I am. Now, that's what you got to do. Once you accepted him, then you say, this is who I am. I'm unified with God. I am one with God. And I'm not one with pornography. I'm not one with you. I'm not one with this. I'm not one with that. And you say, and you fight yourself out of the addiction through being one with God. Because that's where you are. You're a new creation. If you've accepted Jesus as your Savior, you've become a new creation. So when you become a new creation, you are that person who is unified with God. You guys are one. You're a new creation. God is amazing, so powerful. You become like this. And so that's all you claim. That's all you got to do when the enemy comes because he wants you. He wants to be one with you. All this crap because he knows that when we become one with God, we're free. And then we're able to stop his wicked plans. The wicked, you could see how the hearts of man have become evil. You can see it through rape, the greed and the money. It's all about me. All of us every single one of us have lived a life of selfishness. It's all about me. It's all about me. And whatever the specifics, they can vary. But every single one of us has lived like that. And I say this because I know how it's important to know that for yourself at the end of the day and say that, well, I have been living for myself and I need God. And then that's so beautiful because then when you just admit that and you say, I need you, and I know it's been my fault. I know that I know, yes, people have hurt you. Yes, people have done you wrong. But when you think about it, if people have done you wrong And then so you live selfishly, and then you do other people wrong. That is partially on you, you know? We have to understand that, because when our life is all said and done, if we lived selfishly, if we live selfishly, just trying to get things for ourselves and just getting our own comfortable life, cornering ourselves off because everybody has hurt us. I've done it, you know. If we live like that, then there's kids and people who don't get reached because they need you. And more importantly than that, you can live with God. You can literally have a relationship with God. So whatever's going on in your life, if you've died to sin with God, or if you haven't given your life to Jesus, or if you have given your life to Jesus, but you feel like you're still empty and you don't know what's going on, and you're still grasping for things that can't fill you up, turn to Him and just give Him everything, because He will fill you up, and He will. And He did it for me, and He did it for friends. It's the most beautiful life in the whole world. And I know it's a lot. It's a lot. It is. But we're strong. He made us, and we don't have to do it on ourselves. That's why this world has been so hard for us to handle, is because, and that's why we run away from everything and kind of hide and do that thing. It's because we weren't built to do it in our own strength. We were built to live with Jesus. We were built to live in relationship with God and a family. And He's the only one who can fulfill you. And so that's so beautiful, because then He will equip you with the strength and the wisdom to know, to plan for your life, and to take the steps that you need, and to understand yourself and to love yourself when no one's watching. And you would truly be free. And you would never fear anything again, because you perfect love casts out every single fear. And there is no more fears because Jesus died for us. And if He took away death, tell me what is else. Death is the number one fear, so all these fears that trickle down, tell me what is going to separate us from the love of God. It can't happen. So then you know who you are. And even if you make mistakes, you won't beat yourself up. If you see yourself not fully, who you want to be, and you see yourself messing up, then you realize, okay, yeah. And sometimes it'll be like, ooh, damn, this kind of hurts, But instead of before getting all upset, now it's, fill me up. I need your love. I need Him, I need your love. And, then it's just, you are growing. Then you'll be able to grow. So the other way you can't grow. It's just a fungus life. And, it sucks, and, but, I'm thankful for you, and God is literally always there for us, waiting, And I'm thankful for everybody who He's put in your life that has, told you about Him and been Him for you, been the love for you, being there to help you fall in love with Him. And I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for who you are. And your life, because you're truly a special human being. And you were created, your purpose is to be in love with God. And it's the most beautiful thing. And He'll show you even more about your purpose and more about who you are. And you'll be able to grow and stand. And that is something miraculous. So, I love you so much.